Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mind Your Soul. And today's focus is on the mind and body connection. And I'm your host, Farah. And today we have a very good and dear friend of mine, Sonia, who is a transformation and confidence coach. So please introduce yourself to the listeners, Sonia.
Well, hi everyone. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Farah. So I am a single mum. I work in the corporate world and I have a passion for health and fitness. The reason why I've become a coach with regards to, confidence and health and mindset is because it helped me during very challenging times. So when I was going through divorce and losing my job simultaneously, fitness is the one thing that kept me resilient, both mentally and physically, and
Mhm.
has become one of my superpowers and a life hack to managing stress, given the amount of responsibility and challenges that I have to face on a day-to-day basis. So I want to help other mothers who work in the corporate field to do just that, become more mentally and physically resilient. And then the byproduct is feeling confident and feeling amazing and energized.
I love it. I love it. And you're so inspiring. And that's why you're on the podcast today. And yeah, so we just instantly connected, either you know or not, when you connect with someone, because I think you're very inspiring. You're doing all of this. And yeah, so I thought we should have you on the podcast. So I think many people kind of feel stuck or trapped, like in the sense of they have so much responsibility. As a single mom, you have a lot of responsibility. We know that as a fact. I'm a single mom myself, but like working out is like it's always pushed away, right? It's like I have so many things and I'm so drained and tired, and it's like, yeah, but if you actually did this exercise or worked out, the outcome might be different, right? But it's like finding that push or getting that push or finding that energy to actually do it, and you do it freaking every day. I see your stories. Like every day Sonia pushes herself every single day, even though she's not feeling it. You're up in the gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, come on. How do you do it, Sonia? So, what is it? What does it take? I know you have your own journey and you just shared that, but how did you go from not working out on a regular basis to actually doing it? Like, what pushed you? Can you share that with our listeners?
I think essentially it was the goal to become the best version of myself. I
Mm,
wasn't happy in my own skin. I was lethargic all the time. I wasn't eating the right foods. I was very unfit and I had no body confidence. And that was the catalyst for me to take action. So basically trial and error. What works, see what works, and then just keep trying. And it's that dedication, that consistency, and that discipline that you develop over time when
mhm.
something makes you feel good. And also, like, it's just the byproduct of feeling amazing. I am so happy and confident in my own body. I
Mm.
love what I see in the mirror. I love how it makes me feel. And I want people to feel like that. But
Yeah,
it's the starting that's always the challenge. But when you do see that, every step you take, every action you take to better your life, it's only amazing things can happen. So it's just, you know, staying part of the course, and no matter how difficult it is, get yourself up, go, don't stop.
just do it.
Absolutely, because you deserve it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be like living an enriched life. And also, as a
Absolutely.
parent, if you
Mm.
and I, Farah, are not in a good place, that's going to impact the kids. We're not going to be able to
Absolutely, it
work.
does. It does. When I do not prioritize my self care, I'm a grumpy mom. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not fun to be around. I don't even like me. So like,
Absolutely.
and it affects the children. They get anxious. I'm anxious. It's like a whole circle of negativity, and I don't want that. That's why I do work out every day. Not as intense as Sonia, you guys, but I do work out every day, and I'm very proud of, like, it takes time to get where I am as well. Because it's like incorporating one thing and then adding another because I want to push myself, and then adding another layer to it, pushing myself. Just like our mind gets resilient, so does our body. So that actually gets me to the next question, Sonia. So working out physically, how does that impact our mind? I just spoke about being resilient, but like when your muscles grow, like what does that make you feel? Like the whole connection, the whole flow of the mind body. When you work on a daily basis, you push yourself. What does that tell you?
That you're able to do anything in life. You're able to achieve anything in life. And like the more you program your body to do
Mhm.
something, it's always this. It's this first, right? If this is
Yeah,
not in check, this ain't going to work. So you're never going
absolutely.
to take the action. And it all stems from, focusing on what it is you want and just
Mhm.
doing it piecemeal, one day at
Yeah,
a time.
yeah, break it down. Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't overwhelm yourself. One action at a time. Nail it. Get that habit under your belt.
And then
Then
you can
add
add
another
the other layer. Yes. That's what I've been doing. And that's the thing I wanted to address in today's podcast is we hear all these things from our clients or from people we interact with. This is the new year. I'm going to get myself a fitness membership. Okay. And then they're like, I'm dedicated. I'm going 3 times a week. And I spoke to this dad in preschool. He was telling me, I haven't worked out for 10 years, but I just got my membership. And I was like, okay. And so how many times are you going? I was just having a conversation, right? He's like, 3 times a week. And I was like, okay, that's not gonna last. Like we both know this, right? He has 3 kids and he's married or whatever. But I'm like, you haven't done this for 10 freaking years. And you're going 3 times a week. That's like it's self-sabotaging going there so many times because we both know it's not gonna last. Like take those small steps. That's what I'm trying to say. Make it what's the word, Sonia? Like so you
bite
can make it
size,
work. Yeah,
digestible.
adjustable to your lifestyle because he's a leader, so he's working a lot and he's going there before bedtime, which is also not good, like from 10 to 11. That's what I'm saying. So that, yeah, exactly. So it's not going to last. We know when February hits, he's going to be out of that gym. That's what's been happening for the last 10 years, right? Yeah, unless he works with someone who pushes him, a coach or something, like somebody holding him accountable because his wife is not doing it because he's been in the same circle round around. And I see this a lot from people. They're like all buzzed up, like, oh yeah, January, let's go. And then February, March hits, and they're like back, I'm not doing it. They're not keeping their own promises, right?
So, what do you recommend from a neuroscientist perspective? What is the best way to approach, adopting
Yeah,
right habits, healthy habits?
healthy
Where would you
habits.
start? Yeah.
I would start by going 1 time a week and then working myself up from there because he hasn't been doing it for 10 years. So sticking to that one day is a win in itself. I know it's not enough to work out once a week. It's not.
Yeah.
We know this, but it's a start, right? It's a start. And so what happens in the brain? He's so highly motivated right now. And I met him again. And we are at the end of January today. And I asked him, so how's it going with your gym? And he was like, yeah, so I didn't go 3 times last week. I went 2 times, but the one time I was speaking to a friend the whole training. And I was like, okay, so we're back at this one time. You actually did work out, right? It's only been a month. So what I'm saying is that you can get highly motivated. So you're in this dopamine rush of yours. The brain is
Mm,
so motivated, but you're not going to stick to it because it's not a habit yet. And it
mm.
takes the brain 21 to 60 days to incorporate healthy habits for your brain to actually follow. The whole rewiring of thoughts and everything. So this person working out, the brain is not used to it. It keeps telling, hey, you're tired. Just stay in the sofa. Stay in bed. Why are you getting up? You can do it tomorrow. The brain frees us, loves procrastination, loves self-sabotaging. So like make a habit that you can actually keep that promise and then work out from there. Like do it a month, 1 time a week, and then next month try 2 times a week, right?
Mm, agreed.
And also having a coach, like you coach people, right, Sonia? So what is it that you help your clients with? Why do they have a coach like you? Like they could go in the gym and work. I know you do so much more than only helping them working out, but what is it that pushes them to the next level working with you?
Okay, so I think the biggest pain point most people suffer is accountability. They're not willing to show up for themselves.
Exactly.
And they have all of these ideas and all of these things that they want to do, and then they're like, oh gosh, I've got so much to do, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm going to
Yeah.
do nothing.
Yeah,
So
I'm
then
gonna
it
do nothing. I'm
causes.
gonna push it to tomorrow, and tomorrow is the same thing. It's like, hey, tomorrow happened.
Exactly. So the area that I really focus on is accountability, so people checking
Mhm.
in every day. making sure that they know what they're doing, they've got structure in their day, they're prioritizing themselves, so their
Mm-hmm.
nutrition, when are they
Mm-hmm.
going to work out,
Mm-hmm.
and then check in with me with what they're eating and that they've worked out, right? And they're taking all the actions that I've advised them to do based on their current, current situation. And one size does not fit all.
No,
So
of course.
so your schedule is super hectic, right? Because you've got
Yeah,
more
it
kids
is.
than me, you're working full time, you have
Yeah.
you don't have care, and some of your kids are young, right? So you need to
Yeah.
give them more time.
Yeah.
My scenario is completely different because my daughter's old enough, right? So I can leave her.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend time training, and I know
Yeah.
when I can maneuver myself around my
Yeah, yeah,
current
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course.
responsibilities, right?
Mm.
But
Mm.
it's creating a plan for each individual so that they can have success, but be there every step of the way so that they are supported by me. So if they're having a bad day, if they don't feel like working out, if they have a question about what they're eating, me always giving them the guidance that they need on, basically just in time. So they're not left like, trying to work things out for themselves. And that's the thing. Overwhelm and stress
Mm-hmm.
can kick in when you're not getting the support you need. And most people, when they first
Absolutely.
start, they need that, right? They need that help.
All need
And
it. Like we both have our own coaches, so it's like we all need it. We coach and we have a coach because we need it too, right? We just as human as they are.
absolutely,
Even though like we give all this advice, we need to hear it ourselves, right? So we pep ourselves. Like I talk to you sometimes. I'm like, Sonia, I'm not feeling like doing it. Like just push through it, do it. And then I've done it. I feel amazing, right? That's the
that's the
push
thing.
we need. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's focusing on how it makes you feel and enjoying the journey, not so much the byproduct, because a lot of
Yes.
people, they focus on, okay, I'm going
The
to
result.
look amazing. I'm going to look like a model, like a catwalk model, right? And when it doesn't happen, they're like, okay, I'm giving this up. This is not working for me. And
Hmm.
this is the thing, when you detach from the outcome and you enjoy every step that you take, every action you take, you're like, yeah, yes, I did. Damn straight I did it,
Did it. And I feel amazing. My energy is uplifted. I can like throw a bomb at me. I'm gonna handle it because I'm feeling better. No, because your body's not talking to the brain. They're working together now. And a neurotransmitters are all wiring around in the head and just giving you the serotonin and dopamine and I can't pronounce the other words. I can't say it. But like all these hormones are released in your mind when you actually work out physically, especially when you actually push yourself. It's the same thing. You're pushing your mind like you can do it, right? If you tell yourself you can't do it, you cannot do it. But if you tell yourself every day, I got this, I'm gonna do it, you can freaking do it. That's the power
Absolutely.
of actually, yeah, rewiring your thoughts. That's the power of it. You can't do it, and you're a living example of it, right? Like you're doing it. You have a full-time job, you have your own coaching business, and you're working out each and every day, and you're doing it.
Absolutely. Because I deserve it. I deserve
You
to
do,
be
of
successful and happy and,
course you do.
like love myself, which is
Yeah.
which is always a pain point of most people I speak to. They just don't love themselves enough. And it pains me like to see that. Why
Hmm.
would you want to settle for being unhappy? Like I
I
want
agree.
everyone to thrive. And I guess like Farah, from your perspective, for someone that's like unhappy in their own skin and they're just starting from scratch, what kind of guidance would you provide on, to start that journey? What do you think mentally you'd need to focus on to be able to take that first step?
Yeah, so that was kind of me 5 years ago. So I've been on this self-discovery journey for the last 5 years. I've been working with therapists and coaches. And yeah, and I didn't have any self-confidence, Sonia. And I know I'm such a confident person today because I've evolved myself. I know. But 5 years ago, I was really in a bad place. So I actually started doing self-affirmations in the mirror. That's where the journey began for me. So I started there, talking with compassion to myself as I would to my best friend. Like, you are worthy of love. You're such an amazing mom. Those were the things that I said at that point. Today, I say different things, but like it's changed, right? And then I added on the High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. It's an
I
amazing
like
book for
Laura.
people. Yeah, I love Mel Robbins. For people who do not know her, look her up. She's amazing. And I incorporated the High Five Habit, and I've been doing it for the last 3 years. I high five myself each morning in the mirror. And when I told my best friend, she was laughing in my face, like, "You're going nuts." She was like, "You're going crazy. You've always been crazy, but you're going more crazy." Stuff like that. But it does wonders for my mind. So what I did, I didn't like I always knew about neuroscience and stuff, and sometimes you preach things but you don't take your own medicine. I knew about neuroplasticity, I knew about rewiring of thoughts, but I didn't know how much power it actually had. So that is where I started. Okay. Always been fit, always been exercising. I would say mostly cardio, and I added on strength training 3 years ago. So I'm toned now. I love that, and I want to push myself. So I've decided I want to get a membership.
Yes,
Um,
girl. Let's
yes, I'm
go.
gonna do it because I've created my own business. I can work out whenever I want to work out. That's the freedom of having your own business. So now I'm in a place because I still have young children, as you said. I can leave them, but I can go in my work day and work out in a gym. When I'm already coaching people in person, and the gym is like 500 meters away from me. So that makes it accessible. That's
Mm-hmm.
also about habits, right? It makes it accessible. How is it easy for you to go to a gym? If it's a long drive and it's going to take you lots of hours, you kind of drop that because it's too hard, right? So I
Absolutely.
have been working out at home. I have lots of tools. I've been working out for 3 years, strength training at home, but I want to take it to the next level. Um, Also
This
do
is awesome.
calisthenics. Yeah, I also go to a gym to do calisthenics sometimes because my friend owns it. So it's like catching up and doing that. But it's like pushing myself. I want to have a strong body. I want to be a strong mom. But my journey began with just doing the self affirmations actually, and then adding on layers, right? When you have those habits in
Absolutely.
place, you can add on other things. Then I worked with a life coach and a fitness coach. He made the same program as you're talking about. I wanted to find, like, I always eaten healthy, but I could always be healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Having those habits in place, like juicing and stuff. I know you do that. You juice celery juice. Like
Every
all these
morning.
healthy things for our body because we're aging. We are aging, and we have to be strong from within. And just as much as outside, we have to start from within, right? So I'm doing
Exactly.
all of it as well. You can't see it, but I do have some muscles.
Ladies and gentlemen, this woman is a strong, strong girl. I
So are
honestly,
you.
high vibe, assertive. I mean, super, super intelligent, and she's a go-getter
Yeah, and
because
I'm
of this
confident today, but I
lifestyle.
wasn't, Sonia. So I've just like our clients, like we all have had our journey, just like you shared. Like divorce did a lot of things to me as well with my
Yeah,
self-esteem. It kind of ruined me. I'm just gonna be honest, it did. I had to find myself again. And that's okay, because that journey led to this person today. So it's been good for me. It's been so good for me. Yeah, right?
every I think every experience is a learning experience. I was in the
It
same
is.
boat. I
Yeah,
questioned myself. I was like, off my self-worth.
yeah,
And actually, I've come out more independent, stronger.
yeah.
If I can overcome that,
You can overcome
everything else is
anything.
easy.
That's what I'm
Everything's
saying.
easy.
Yeah.
So,
But Sonia, I actually want to talk about some stigmas around strength training. And I know people are more aware of how important it is to strengthen our bodies. But you also shared your journey, like you used to do, what was it, cross training, or what was it? Like you used to do cardio a lot, but not strength training. Why is it important to actually do both? Because I do both. But why is it? And they both have like own their benefits. Um,
yeah. So
yeah. So why is it so important to actually do hard strength training for our bodies?
well, as we get older, we lose muscle.
Yeah.
Every decade is like 5%, right? Roughly around that percentage. Yeah, yeah. So we've got to maintain it, but also to maintain our mobility and
Mhm.
reduce the aches and pains that we're gonna, inevitably get as we get older. Also, if
Mhm.
we've got a desk job and a sedentary lifestyle,
Like we do, desk job.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
we need to be focusing on working those muscles and making sure that they're as strong as possible, but also from a female standpoint to mitigate the risk of osteoporosis, and keep those bones strong, because that's what strength training can do. Also, like, it makes you look great. I mean, having a
Amazing.
bit of definition, having a bit of definition and that muscle tone makes the skin look better. But cardio alone can't do that. So,
No.
based on the experience I've had, and I used to do it all. I've used to run half marathons. I
Oh,
used
wow.
to do lots of
But I
spinning
love
every day.
running though. It's like de-stressing to me. So I actually run for that reason.
But that's great because
Yeah.
it helps you and you feel good doing it, right?
Yeah.
But you can overdo it. And running is great for your heart health and will keep your cardiovascular fitness up. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, when it comes to looking how you feel, well, like looking good, strength training is the way to go. But also, like mentally, that one more rep, that additional strength that I can also strength I can develop, but also the weight I can lift. It's quite empowering. I'm like, yes, I can
Yeah,
do
you
this.
feel awesome.
Yes,
It feels
anything.
awesome. Yeah.
This is it. But it also gives you like a chance, and this is with exercise in general.
Mm,
It
mm.
allows you to disconnect from your daily stresses. So when I was going through the divorce and the separation, I would go to work, I would go to my work gym, and I would go to work out for about an hour. It would let me de-stress and
Yeah,
forget things for an
yeah.
hour.
It does
And I
help
feel
anxiety
so
a
much,
lot.
yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
feel so much better. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I've got all these things I need to do. How am I going to cope? It just allowed me to keep going. And
Yeah.
it, I think I like prevented getting depressed because I was really
Many people
focusing on
do
my
get
health.
depressed with divorce. Yeah. I didn't get depressed because I was running and stuff. And then I started doing the self-affirmation, really helped me, but yeah, many people do get depressed because they're not moving their body basically. This is
Absolutely.
what I always say. Number one, go move your body if you're feeling anxious,
It's
right?
so important. It's
It's
so
so important.
important. And I
Yeah.
think it's one of the things that people do leave by the wayside. They've got all these other priorities, yet their health is the last thing that they focus on. But actually, if they focused on their health, everything else would be
Come in
manageable.
place. Yes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
prioritizing yourself, and many moms, I feel like single moms like we are, I didn't do that either. Like it's only been 5 years ago. I always prioritized my kids first and a husband need or whatever, not myself. And that's why I felt like I couldn't breathe at the end. And now I'm prioritizing myself and setting boundaries and stuff. Well, I've been doing it for a long time now, but it's like helping, like we've been there ourselves. And many moms do not realize how important it is to take care of yourself first, because if you don't do that, how can you take care of others, right?
If
Right?
you're if you're not okay, your family are not going to be okay.
Exactly. And your kid
And
will have anxiety. Like if you have high anxiety, your kid feeds off your energy. It will have anxiety. And kids can express themselves. So they go crazy, they cry, or they hit things or whatever. Like they react, their body reacts because they're children. And like, yeah, so it's like you're actually doing yourself and your family a favor by prioritizing yourself.
exactly, but also you're a role model to your kids, right?
Yeah.
If your kids see you being
Mhm.
like a lazy bum on a sofa eating
Yeah.
junk food every day,
Yeah.
what do you think that's going to how do you think that's going to
Yeah.
impact them? They're going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Kids are a product of their upbringing.
They
So
are.
you want them to be dedicated, consistent, and actually when you focus on your health, that translates in the rest of your life. So, like us, we're working hard to level up and become the best, businesswomen we can be.
Yeah.
Right?
And no one loves meal prepping, but it makes my week so much easier, right? So we were talking this other
Absolutely.
day, like, hey, it's Sunday, and I was like, hey, we twin in, we have the same schedule. And then you were like, of course we have, because we prep ourselves for the week ahead. So our week gets easier. So we get things done with kids, with ourselves, with our business, our clients, like because we are preparing ourselves for the week ahead. And many people are like, I'm just gonna take it one day at a time, live in the moment. You living in the moment, life is passing by. you know?
And you never achieve anything.
Yeah, and you've been there for the last 10 years. Like what has happened other
This
than your
is
belly growing?
this is
Right?
it. And I my motto, my biggest motto, or my most popular motto is fail to prepare to fail, right? So if we don't look ahead and manage our schedules appropriately and actually are more effective with our time and forward
Mhm.
loading our meal preps, for example, we
Mm.
are actually alleviating time throughout the week to do other needle pushing activities that are going to benefit our lives, right? So
Yeah.
it's just being sensible with your time, and we don't have time to waste, and that's what a
No,
lot of
exactly.
people do, especially mummies. They're wasting a lot of time,
A lot
and
of
they
time, and they all have this thing in common. I don't have time, and then they speak to me, and I'm like, "Hey, single mom of three, having my own business, working out every day," and they're like, "What?" Like, yeah, well, I can do it. So can you do it? So
yeah,
keep
it's just an excuse.
telling your brain the same thing. You ain't got time because we all have time. You don't have 1 hour to yourself. You don't have 30 minutes. Like, come on now. Do not even give me that. And I know clients say the same thing to you. I don't have time, Sonia. I have a full time job. I have, like, let's say, two kids. When should I? So when your kids is asleep, what's happening? What are you doing in those hours? What are you doing before your kids wake up? Like, what are you doing at that time? And then when they journal it, they figure out, oh, shoot, I have 4 hours to myself and I'm just scrolling. Like, I'm just scrolling.
Oh, this is
I'm binge
it.
watching Netflix. Oh, okay. So you could actually read that book and you could actually work out, but you're not prioritizing yourself. You're just self sabotaging, basically.
Exactly, and that's another reason why, for example, I wake up stupidly early.
Oh, yeah, you do. You're like a
So I have,
monk. You're a monk, Sonia.
well, this is why I have no life. But
People,
like,
Tanya wakes up at monk time, which is like 4 a.m. in the morning.
but so I can prioritize my self care. That's when
Yeah.
I fit it in because I've got other priorities. I've got work. I've got my daughter. I've got
Will
my
you please
business.
share with the listeners what you do each morning? Because I think it's very inspiring. Like, if you can, I'm not there yet myself, Sonia. I must say that. I'm not there yet, but I want to be. So, will you please share with the listeners your morning routine, what it consists of, like a typical day?
So I've started waking up at 4:30.
Oh,
So
4:30. Okay, monk, still
yeah.
monk.
Oh no, but sometimes 4. It depends if I'm going into the office.
Yeah, I've noticed. So, yeah.
But it's basically starting with red light, and
Mhm.
I'm journaling in the mornings, and I'm writing my affirmations on what I want to manifest in life. I couldn't fit it in at the end of the day. I was too tired, so I thought,
Mhm.
okay, let me get up a bit earlier.
And works for
What's
you.
half an
Yeah.
hour? Absolutely. Then I get ready for the gym. I have my workout in the morning. Then I'm ready to sit at my desk, by 9 o'clock, and I've done a hell of a lot. I put on laundry. I've made my food
That's
made food.
amazing.
Like I've done everything that I don't. Then I can forget about it, and I
It's
have
done,
an
and you're
anxiety.
feeling amazing, and you're pumped for the day, right? Because you start the day
Absolutely.
with you. You start. So I start with prayer, meditation. I do the high five, the self affirmations. I manifest just like you do. I don't write, but I just speak it. Yeah, and I'm in prayer, praying, and yeah. So I have a calm start to the day as well. And I've noticed those days where my kids sometimes wake up before me. It happens sometimes, right, kids? Then I'm
Yeah.
like off track. My whole day is like shh, because I did not have my morning calm routine, so I can handle the day, right? And my workout is usually during the day because that's when I can do it. My kids are in school and preschool, so I have the time. So I take out 1 hour to exercise each day, middle of the day, and then I'm pumped again. I'm ready to work and then be a mom. And then I end my day again with meditation and prayer. So I start and end the day the same way. I need that, and now I'm adding
Yeah.
on a lot more breathing exercises in the evening so I could be more calm and sleep better. And it's helping me sleep better. When I'm working late evenings, it kind of, so the brain kind of still working even though you switched off. So, like working with the US, I do in the evenings, it's like a time zone difference. My
Mm.
brain is still working, even though I'm with blue light and everything. It still goes on. And so breathing really helps me to ground me and calm my brain and nervous system down, so I'm ready for a good night's sleep. And then not having notifications on in the morning and in the evenings also help me, right? Having a calm start to the day. And many people just jump on their phone in the morning. It's like, what's going on? So they kind of inviting like 200 strangers to their room each morning and ending the day the same way.
Yeah.
And even though you leave the phone, the brain is still activated. It doesn't understand it. So you sleep, it will affect your sleep pattern. You're sleeping like shit, basically. So you have to have those habits in place. And it takes time, right?
Mm.
To have all of that. But I think it's amazing that you have this very good, calm routine. And the red light, I don't have that yet. It's on my manifesting list. I want to have it because I think it's good to start your day like that, like not
Absolutely.
exposing. I don't like light when I wake up either, so I want to start calmly, right? So Sonia, before we end this episode, what would you say is the long-term cognitive effects of having those healthy habits in place, like doing hard strength training or whatever exercise, like you're pushing yourself? What do you think affects you on the long term? Because what happens in the brain is that we kind of push away and we want gratification instantly. So the long-term effects of having those healthy habits actually have a lot of good gratification for us in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so what do you think? It kind of how long does it take to like get there where you are? Like how long did it take, and what are the effects of it?
Well, I think the impact, first of all, is long-term, sustainable, healthy lifestyle. I've been living
Yes.
like this for the best part of 20 years.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah. So if I can do it for 20 years, I
So
think
good.
it's just the initial starting, which might be a challenge, but I would say you can get it under your belt after 6 months. If my clients have even managed to master it after 4, which is like the
Yeah, it
optimal
depends, I think.
optimal
It took me
time,
6 months. Yeah. Yeah.
but
To
6
master
months I
it.
think
Yeah.
is ideal. But it's just knowing that to persevere, never give up, because
Keep
if
going.
you
Even when
do it,
you feel like it, just do it.
and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect action. Imperfect action compounded together equals amazing results. So
Exactly.
just do something, just one thing
Just do something.
today
Yeah, one
that
thing.
improves your life. Just one thing, because
Yeah.
that will make so much difference to your life because you're
Yeah.
improving it. What
Yeah.
you didn't do yesterday that you're doing today is for the greater good, and just like
Absolutely.
enjoying it, enjoy the journey. Because I tell you what, this I have strong boundaries. I'm not willing to accept bullshit. I have
Same.
standards, high standards, and
Yeah.
I want to do well in life, right?
Yeah.
If it, a healthy lifestyle is not solely how you're feeling physically. Honestly, it translates across your entire life, your relationships, your work
Everything.
ethic,
Yeah.
everything.
Every single thing is affected by how we treat ourselves, how we treat our body, how we treat our mind, the energy people feel it, and you become the better version of yourself. You're a better mom, you're a better spouse, you're a better business partner, coach, whatever. Like it impacts everything around you. People can feel off your energy as well. So I work a lot with
Absolutely.
energy blockages with my clients by doing hypnosis, and we talk about those blockages like of the energy. You're blocking yourself, you're self-sabotaging basically, and let's
Mhm.
work with that so you stop doing it, and they can feel change very fast after like 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions, because everything around them is changing and shifting, and they feeling lighter and brighter, more happy. And sometimes you can pinpoint it, but that's because they're prioritizing themselves, right? So it has a very positive boom effect, and then keep
Absolutely.
going. Do not like it's working, keep going, being consistent. Being consistent gets you places, right? And we
It
know this.
does.
Like
The world is our oyster. The world is our
yes,
oyster. If as long as we stay dedicated and part of the course, anything can be achieved.
exactly.
Anything.
So
And it's not
Sonia,
going to be
where can
sorry, go ahead.
yes, sorry. No, 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 but it's true. So Sonia, you help a lot of different, so you said single moms or yeah, like being yeah, working moms. So where can people find you after this podcast? Where are you accessible to reach out to? Because I think many people can relate to this. Many people feeling stuck and feeling like they want to change and it's been on their vision boards forever, but they haven't taken action. And so where can people actually reach out and talk to you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Sonia underscore Pedrera underscore fitness.
Yeah, I will
Um,
write it in the description. So
and yeah, you can see what I do on a day-to-day basis, how I help my clients, and it's basically mindset, habit forming,
yeah.
accountability, and
Mm.
being educated. Like
Yes.
educate yourself in what works for you,
Yeah.
not not the generic,
No.
one plan, one size fits all. It's not like that. Everyone's
No.
different. Everyone, doesn't can't train the same, doesn't have the
Yeah.
same goals. So
No.
it's tailored for the individual. So I make sure that that person gets exactly what they need based on their situation,
Yeah.
And we work together and we communicate. It's like communication is so key. Like
Yeah.
consistent feedback, making sure that they're happy and they're always making progress. And I'll tell you what, guaranteed freaking results. But you
Oh
have to
yeah,
be,
definitely.
you've got to want
Yeah.
it though. That's the thing. You've got to want it. And if you're not
Yeah,
willing
and
to
then you
put,
got to work for it, and then you're gonna hold them accountable, and you can track your process, progress, and the whole process. Like actually, you stepping up and being true to yourself. Like the first step is like reaching out. That's the big step, and then actually committing is the second big step, and then actually you doing it. You freaking got this. You got here, so of course you can finish it, right? And
absolutely,
keep on going. Like yeah, it just makes you feel amazing. But you gotta have that mindset though, not being in the
absolutely.
victim mentality or like having a fixed mindset. You have to have a growth mindset and like you wanting this change. How bad do you want it? Like tomorrow is not promised. What's holding you back? You yourself is holding your back, right? This is what I see with many people is themselves self-sabotaging, and they kind of sometimes blame it on no, it's because I'm a single mom. No, you can still do it, right? I'm doing it. So it's not because you're a single mom or you have your own business or whatever. We can all do it. um yeah,
Just excuses. They're just excuses. You've
there's
just got to
excuses and the
prioritize.
brain likes it because the brain likes to keep us stuck basically, and it feeds us of fear, the fear of actually you stepping up and doing something different. The brain does not like that in the beginning, but then it shifts, right? Then it loves it. Then you can go back to
Absolutely.
that version. Yeah, you can never go back to that old version, never. um it was lovely
Push it.
having you on, Sonia. Like I think it's a very powerful conversation, and I think many moms or dads or whoever is listening can benefit from this because it goes for men and women. Even though you work with men too, or is it
I
only
have I
women?
have worked I have worked with men, primarily
Okay,
women though. But
okay,
it works. This process works for anyone, but you just got to want
exactly.
it. That's all.
You just have to want it, exactly. Yeah. So the mind body connection, you guys, it's very, very strong. And as Sonia says, she's on Instagram. I'm gonna drop her a profile in the description. It's gonna be out on Spotify and Apple as well, or wherever you get your podcast. So thanks for having you on, Sonia. Take care.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Appreciate you too.